This is the protests are happening on your end 24 hours ago. Where I'm trying to go with this is, if this is, the United Kingdom, and they're screaming, "Who the F is Allah?" These are the chants, right? If you want to play this clip, Rob, go ahead. Okay, you can pause it right there. So, from an outside looking in, Tommy, from the outside simply looking in, these two stories here, with what Hijab is saying and then what these folks are saying, you're weeks, if not months away from chaos in the streets in ways we may have not seen in a while. Are you not sitting there thinking to yourself, okay, this thing's going to get very, very nasty the next 30, 60, 90 days?
I'm thinking that unless the government addresses this issue, it's going to get nasty. Unless people see light at the end of the tunnel, unless they see a solution to the destruction of their nation, people are going to go to desperate measures. And I've been seeing this for a long time. Now, with regards to those quotes, all we ever hear is Allah Akbar, and then usually a bomb go off, or someone gets stabbed, or someone gets killed, or it's used in a inflammatory attack sort of way, where they're screaming it aggressively over issues. Now, I told a story this week. We paid respect to a gentleman called Roy Lana when we had the London Bridge terrorist attack in London, where 3 jihadis rammed a van into people. Then they jumped down with knives and they went into Borough Market, like a little food stall area of London. And they went in a restaurant and started stabbing women in the neck and butchering them. And they murdered loads of people. Now, as they'd done that, there was a Millwall football supporter there. Millwall are famous. So we paid tribute to him at the event, and someone sung a song. And the song had them screaming Allah Akbar. And Roy Lana said, "Fuck you, I'm Millwall," and he started fighting with them. Now, he was stabbed lots of times. Do you know what? Did he get recognition for that? No, he actually got arrested for making comments about Islam months later. So he was stabbed, butchered all over his body. He watched people be murdered.
Seriously?
And they arrested him, put him on a prevent course for his wrong thoughts on Islam. That's what they did.
Where did this happen? What city was it in? Where was it at?
It was a London Bridge terrorist attack, and his name was Roy Lana. So pull up, you have the pictures of him. He was in a hospital bed, and he obviously didn't remember anything. But then all the other witnesses were like, as the terrorists were stabbing everyone, one man ran at them, and he shouted, "Fuck you, I'm Millwall," which is quite funny because Millwall football hooligans are very well known across the UK, across the world. That's it. Yeah, he said, "Fuck you, I'm Millwall," but and he didn't get recognition. He's never had. I actually done a sit-down interview with Roy, a podcast with him, to understand what happened. And he went into a spiral after this of post-traumatic stress disorder. He had no help, and then he faced prosecution and arrest from the police instead of help for having the wrong thoughts on Islam, which is again.
But by the way, so while this is taking place, the two of you, have you and Hijab ever seen each other or ever talked to each other one-on-one?
No, I've never seen him. Never seen him. So.
What would happen if you guys were in the same room talking to each other?
Ali Dawah, who's his friend, Ali Dawah done a campaign where he was going looking for my family home. And he done a video, and it was at the end of my mum's old house road. And he done a video saying, "All right, Tommy," and the part behind it is my mum's where my mum used to live. So this is what they do. He's trying to intimidate me. He's at the wrong house. And then he rings me up. And then he rings me up on live record. And I didn't know he's recording, but he said about coming to my house. I just said, it'll be the last thing you do. You'll meet your 72 virgins if you come to my house, mate. It will be the last thing you ever do. So, because these are jihadists. That's who they are. They pretend they're not. They try and play the silver tongue clever line, but they're dangerous and they're radicalizing and they're recruiting. And they act as like the moderate level to bring or sort of to bring the youngsters in. And that's what both of them do. But they're like a little partnership, Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab. But with it, as I said, if you look at what I've faced, a full weight of everything against me, they don't get anything. They don't get arrested. They don't get criticised. Like they're both on camera saying that they'd let one of them's on camera saying they'd let his daughter be married at 9 years old. Like he's got a daughter now. personally, I think for her own safety, she should be protected from a father like that or for that Islamic belief. But the problem is we have lots of underage marriages going on in the UK. Google it. Google Islamic underage marriages across mosques across this country. They're marrying children. And our government, again, is too sensitive.
I don't understand that. I don't understand why any of that would, why the government's a child marriage thriving in UK due to legal loopholes, WARNS rights groups. Go a little bit on letter to the PM. What year is this, Rob, written?
It says 2021.
Okay,
May
2020. Zoom in a little bit so I can read. Legal loopholes allow 16 in England and Wales married to parental consent and exploited. Of course, more than 20 organizations have signed a letter to the Prime Minister insisting current forced marriage laws does not go far enough to protecting young people. Yeah, I mean, you know, this to me is common sense. The only way, Tommy, I see this being allowed and look the other way is the power has to be from all the way at the top. It's the only way I see
it. Even female genital mutilation. Yeah? It's been a crime in this country since the 80s. Carries a 14-year prison sentence. 55,000 British girls.
What'd you say? Say that one more time. 55,000 what? We lost you for a second. 55,000?
55,000 girls have had their genitals mutilated. Yeah? So Muslim girls had their clitorises cut off, yeah, which endangers them, which is dangerous, sometimes means they can't have kids, lots of problems from it, mental health problems for the rest of their lives from it. But no one faced prosecution. I think the first prosecution was last year or the year before, like a little token case. But with these children, they're allowing them to be mutilated. And to be honest, many of these problems, like even the grooming gangs, if we were to look up the parents of these children, just off those figures, it would take up every prison cell in our country. So some of the problems are that big that they just allow them to happen. Cultural sensitivity. We'll allow your little girls to be mutilated because we don't want to be deemed as extreme or racist or a government that's oppressive. So we allow a crime that carries a 14-year prison sentence. They literally just allowed it. Just Google on the female genital mutilation. It's insane what they've allowed in this country to happen. Because those little Muslim girls, they're little British girls. They're born in Britain and they should be protected, but they haven't been, yeah, because they allow it. And some of those marriages are happening to 12-year-old children. 12-year-old little girls being married in mosques across our country. And again, we're extremists for pointing out, and you say it has to come from the top. It's like that. It's not a mistake. Mass immigration is not a mistake. Yeah? It's happening. There's an attack on every Western nation. Our countries are being flooded. Our cultures are being diluted. All the while they're doing this, as I said, the mass corporations are benefiting from this. So, and the European Union and groups like this don't want individual countries to have individual identity. Now, how do you get them away from I'm German and I'm Spanish? You just flood them with new cultures that then break down that resistance, break down that family, break down that community. And that's what we've seen happening. We don't really have strong communities.
Tommy, let me ask you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm still in shock. I'm just looking at this right now, the numbers. The estimate of 137,000 to 170,000, given a broader view of how many might be living with FGM, is what they call it. FGM, which is called female genital mutilation in UK. Whether you agree with Tommy or not, guess what? You can now get a hold of him on Minect. He will respond back on Minect. You can simply download the app. He's officially on there. Ask him any question. You agree with him. You don't agree with him. An article, something you saw, but now you can get direct contact with Tommy Robinson on Minect. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.